next movie, what were some of the things that you all seen in Breakout? Isolation, rejection. And the interesting part about rejection is that some of his rejection was perceived rejection. And the most wonderful part about therapy is when you're sitting with someone and they say something as if it's a fact, as if it's something that is just universal, and you say, is that your perception of what happened? Is that your interpretation of how you saw it? Or is that a truth? And you're not necessarily indicating that it's one way or the other. You're just asking. You're wondering. That's those the therapist tricks that the psychologists. And what do you think, right? That people make jokes about. What are some other things? Maybe one or two more. Shame. Insecurity. Isolation. Absolutely. Shame is the one that catches my ears, because there's a lot of different themes, and then there's also core pain, core hurt, or sometimes they even call it schema. That's another topic, right? But what happens with that one is that you have these, let's call it rolling emotions, sometimes even surface emotions, where there's an understanding that some feeling is going to come, and there's a natural progression that that feeling is going to flow. But some emotions, like shame, it's so deep that no matter how someone can tell you it's okay, even when the situation passes, it is so deep within that takes a lot more processing and a lot more love from everyone around you to get a sense of healing for that piece.
One of the things of Breakout in particular, what I loved, is the longing that I felt from this character, which means there was still this hopefulness on the other end, that despite all of what you mentioned, all of these things of sadness, shame, isolation, withdrawal, there's still this longing for something different, which means that there was still hope that he carried, that things could be different if I had the right medication, if the breakouts ended. It was like he continued to persist, and that's just a wonderful thing to be able to see in any human being, is the ability to still fight for what you really desire and love.
And sometimes even when clients are at their deepest despair, I'll say, but you came in today. You woke up and you continue to push forward in this thing that we call therapy. And so therefore that hope piece is still there. And my therapy is strength-based. So in every way, I'm consistently bringing up into the conversation the piece of hopefulness. Mm-hmm. And all the elements of joy that could sometimes be overlooked when someone is emotionally going through pieces that feel very difficult and undesirable.